Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the information overload, pull out what really matters from various sources, and give you that shortcut to being truly informed. Today, we're taking a close look at the 2026 Kia Sorento. It's shaping up to be quite interesting in the family SUV space.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Kia is trying to, redefine things a bit. We've looked at a detailed review from Cars Press and combined it with insights from several other expert takes.
Right.
The idea is to really boil it down for you. What makes this Sorento tick? Its style, its power, how practical it actually is.
Exactly. Our mission here is to unpack what makes it stand out. You look at the design, the performance claims, safety tech, where it sits in the market.
Yeah.
We want to get past the brochures.
And give you the real essence of it.
Yeah. You do get an immediate impression, don't you? Feels substantial, very family-focused right from the start.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely makes an entrance. And what's interesting from the sources, like Cars Press, is how they point out the design blend.
How so?
Well, it's got this kind of strong, almost truck-like front end, that wide grille.
Right.
But then it mixes that with these really sleek, modern LED lights. It gives it this presence. It stands out without being, overly aggressive. It feels strategic.
Okay, so it's not just about looks. It's about projecting a certain image while still being a practical family hauler.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That modern front, those LEDs, definitely gives it a commanding look. Hard to miss.
Exactly. And that considered feel carries right into the cabin. It's designed for 7 passengers, and the immediate impression is, well, spaciousness.
And the materials.
Pretty high-quality feel, especially if you step up to the higher trims. They add these nice metallic touches, some wood accents. It feels quite premium, actually. Sophisticated, but not, stuffy.
And for the driver.
Yeah.
Because that's crucial.
They haven't forgotten the driver, no. The dashboard layout is quite elegant, but it's also kept simple, which I think a lot of people appreciate.
Yeah, less distracting.
Right. You've got this big 12.3-inch touchscreen right in the center. Handles Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the usual suspects.
Standard stuff now, really.
Pretty much. And then there's a nice clear digital display for the driver's instruments, too. Feels like a proper command center. But yeah, without being overly complicated.
Okay, let's talk comfort, especially seating. That's huge for a family vehicle.
It really is. And the sources suggest the front seats are genuinely good, supportive enough for long drives, not just quick trips. The driver gets 8-way power adjustment, which helps dial in that perfect position. And again, higher trims offer heating and cooling.
Oh, cooled seats on a road trip, yes please.
Big plus, right. And they're usually finished in leather on those upper trims.
And for the back seats. Second and third row.
Second row seems pretty spacious. You can even slide those seats forward and back, which is handy for adjusting legroom or accessing the third row.
Okay.
The third row. Well, like most SUVs in this class, it's realistically best for kids or, shorter trips for adults. But it's there when you need that extra capacity.
And practical touches, like vents and charging.
Yep, dedicated air conditioning for the rear passengers, which is important. And multiple USB chargers scattered around. Keeps everyone happy or at least charged.
Always crucial. What about cargo? Versatility is key there, too.
Definitely a strong point. Even with all 7 seats up, you've still got room for some grocery bags or small suitcases.
Okay, decent.
But fold that third row down, which is easy to do, and the space basically doubles. Plenty of room for camping gear, big suitcases, that kind of thing.
Right.
And if you need maximum space, say for a moving furniture or a big DIY project.
Fold the second row, too.
Exactly. Both rows fold pretty flat, creating this large load floor. You're looking at around 2,100 liters of space then. It's genuinely quite cavernous.
Wow, okay. That's impressive flexibility.
And they add conveniences like the power tailgate, the one that opens automatically if you stand behind it with the key.
Yeah.
Super handy when your hands are full.
Totally. Okay, so design and practicality seem well covered. Let's talk power and performance. Does it back up that strong look?
It offers choices, which is good. The standard engine is a 2.5-liter gasoline unit. Puts out 191 horsepower and 245 newton meters of torque.
Which feels like
enough for daily driving,
Yeah.
getting around town, merging onto the highway. It should feel adequate, responsive enough, even with people on board.
But there's more.
Oh, yeah. If you want more grunts, there's a 2.5-liter turbo version. That one jumps up significantly to 281 horsepower and 421 newton meters. Gives it a much sportier feel.
All right, for those who want a bit more pep.
Exactly. And then there are the hybrid options, too. A 1.6-liter turbo hybrid making 227 horsepower total, and a plug-in hybrid, the PHEV, which bumps that up to 261 horsepower, giving you that electric-only range capability.
So quite a spread. How does it put that power down? Drivetrain? Transmission?
Standard setup is front-wheel drive, but you can opt for intelligent all-wheel drive on the higher trims, good for, extra traction in bad weather or on slippery surfaces.
Makes sense. And the gearbox?
The gasoline engines get a smooth 8-speed automatic. The hybrids use a 6-speed automatic. Both are geared towards, well, smooth and efficient power delivery.
Okay. And does it feel quick? Any numbers on acceleration?
The turbo version is the quickest, obviously. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, so about 0 to 62 miles per hour, in around 7.4 seconds, which is pretty respectable for a family SUV.
Decent, yeah.
Top speed for most versions is around 210 kilometers per hour, or about 130 miles per hour. Plenty capable for any highway driving.
Now, the big question for families often comes down to fuel economy. How does it fare there?
It varies quite a bit depending on the engine, naturally. The standard 2.5 gas engine, you're probably looking at around 9 to 11 kilometers per liter, maybe 23, 26 miles per gallon combined, roughly.
Okay.
The hybrid is where it really improves. Expect something more like 16 to 18 kilometers per liter, which is closer to 40 miles per gallon. That's a significant saving.
Big difference.
Yeah, and it has a decent-sized 67-liter fuel tank, so the driving range, especially on the hybrid, should be excellent. Fewer fuel stops.
Good point. So, performance specs aside, how does it actually feel to drive? The ride, the handling?
Sources suggest it strikes a really good balance. It uses McPherson struts up front and a multi-link setup in the rear.
Which means?
Basically, it's a sophisticated suspension design that allows for both comfort and stability. It handles bumps well, soaking them up without feeling floaty or unsettled. Passenger comfort seems to be a priority.
Good.
Steering is described as precise, giving you confidence. And importantly, it's meant to be quiet. Good insulation from road and wind noise makes it pleasant for long journeys.
A quiet cabin really does make a difference on a long drive. It sets the stage nicely for the tech inside, making it more usable.
It really does, and Kia leans into that mobile command center idea. We mentioned the 12.3-inch screen, high-resolution, easy integration with your phone via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, plus built-in navigation. It's the central hub.
Right, and the sound system. Often overlooked, but important for enjoyment.
There's a standard system, which is likely decent, but you can upgrade to a premium 12-speaker Bose system.
Bose usually means good quality.
Yeah, designed to provide that immersive, high-quality sound throughout the cabin. Definitely a plus for music lovers or just keeping kids entertained with audiobooks.
What about keeping devices charged? Always a battle in a family car.
Kia seems to understand this. Multiple USB ports across all 3 rows. That's almost a necessity now.
Absolutely.
Plus, there's a fast wireless phone charger up front in the console.
Convenient. And controlling all this tech, can you do it without taking your eyes off the road?
Mostly, yes. Voice commands for infotainment and navigation are available, plus steering wheel buttons for common functions. That helps minimize distraction.
Okay.
And some higher trims get a head-up display, projecting key info like speed and navigation turns onto the windshield.
Ooh, I like those. Adds a bit of luxury, but it's genuinely useful for safety, too. Keeps your eyes forward.
Exactly. Which brings us neatly to safety overall. Clearly a major focus for a family SUV like the Sorento.
What are the key features?
It comes loaded with advanced driver assistance systems, or AS. Things like automatic emergency braking, AEB.
Right, the system that can brake for you if it senses a crash.
Precisely. Also, lane keeping assist and warning to help prevent drifting, blind spot detection, it's essential for lane changes, and even a seatbelt reminder for all seats.
Good basics to have.
Yeah.
What about actual crash tests? How does it hold up?
Okay, so looking at results for the very similar 2025 model from the IIHS, that's the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
They do the tough tests.
They do. The Sorento generally scores well, but there was one specific test, the updated moderate overlap front test, where it got an acceptable or marginal rating.
Okay. Why was that?
It was specifically related to how the rear passenger seatbelt behaved in that particular impact, allowing a bit too much movement towards the abdomen for the dummy.
So not a structural issue, but a restraint system nuance in that one tough test.
That seems to be the case. It meant it missed out on the absolute top rating, the top safety pick plus by. But, and this is important, it still qualified for top safety pick.
Which is still a very strong rating, right? It indicates a fundamentally safe vehicle.
Absolutely. It's still considered very safe overall. And interestingly, in the side impact test, it scored good, which is the highest rating.
Why the difference there?
The IAHS noted extra reinforcement in the B-pillar, the post between the doors, and the overall safety cage structure. So strong side impacts. It shows Kia is definitely focused on structural safety.
Okay, good context. Now, where does the Sorento fit in the market? It's a crowded space.
Very crowded. Its main competitors are probably the Toyota Highlander and the Hyundai Palisade, though you could also cross-shop it with the Mazda CX-90 or the newer Hyundai Santa Fe.
Let's compare it directly, say, against the Palisade first. They're siblings in a way.
Kind of. The Sorento is actually a bit shorter than the Palisade, about 4.8 meters versus nearly 5 meters for the Palisade.
Interesting. Does that mean less space inside?
Less overall passenger volume, yes. But counterintuitively, the Sorento often has more boot space behind the second row 616 liters versus about 431 for the Palisade.
Yeah.
So better for cargo if you don't need maximum passenger room.
Huh. What about power and efficiency?
Palisade generally comes with a more powerful V6 engine, 291 horsepower, versus the Sorrento's base 191 or turbo 281. So Palisade wins on sheer power.
The fuel economy.
Sorento tends to do better there, especially the non-Togo. We mentioned around Twido 331 millipg city highway for Sorento, maybe 1926 for the Palisade. That adds up.
And price, usually a key factor.
Sorento typically starts lower, around $33,400 maybe, versus closer to $38,700 for a base Palisade. So Sorento positions itself as maybe the smarter value, while Palisade offers more space and power, plus some fancier features like that big curved screen and maybe more USB-C ports.
Okay, trade-offs to consider. What about against the Toyota Highlander, another big seller?
Highlander also usually packs more punch than the base Sorento with its 265 HEP turbo engine. But fuel economy is actually quite similar between them. Sorento might average around 26 millipg combined. Highlander, maybe 25 millipg. Pretty close.
Space.
Highlander tends to offer a bit more maximum cargo volume, around 84 cubic feet versus Sorrento's 75 or so. Infotainment screens are similar sizes.
So how does the Sorento carve out its space against these giants?
It really leans into that value proposition. Competitive pricing, a lot of standard features for the money, plus those efficient hybrid options. It aims to be the well-rounded, stylish choice that doesn't break the bank but still feels modern and capable.
And the pricing reflects that across the range.
Yeah. You've got the entry-level LX around, say, $32,000, $34,000. Mid-range EX or SX trims might be $36,000 to $43,000. Then the top-end stuff, SX Prestige, the rugged-looking X-Line, or the PHEV, can push past $45,000, even towards $50,000, depending on options.
A wide range. Lots of choice in trims too, right?
Definitely. LX, SAX, SX, SX, Prestige, X-Line, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, lots to choose from. And a decent palette of exterior colors too. Whites, blacks, silvers, grays, reds, blues, even a green and a bronze.
And where are they built?
Production is split between Kia's plants in Hwasong, South Korea, and West Point, Georgia, right here in the U.S.
Okay, so bring it all together. After this deep dive, what's the final verdict? The pros and cons?
Well, on the plus side, you've definitely got that modern, attractive design. It looks good. The interior is spacious, comfortable, and feels well put together. The tech is advanced, good infotainment, connectivity.
Right, the mobile command center idea.
Exactly. Multiple engine options, including those efficient hybrids, is a big plus. Comprehensive safety features are standard or readily available. And that comfortable, quiet ride quality is a consistent theme.
Okay, sounds pretty positive. What are the potential downsides or things to consider?
Well, those top trims can get pricey, pushing into territory where you might consider other, perhaps more premium brands.
Sure.
Acceleration, particularly with the base engine, might feel a bit underwhelming compared to rivals with standard V6s or stronger turbos, like that CX-90 perhaps.
So test drive carefully based on your needs.
Definitely. Also, fuel consumption with the larger engines or all-wheel drive won't be as impressive as the hybrid, obviously. Something to factor in.
And the third row.
As we said, it's tight for adults. Manage expectations there. It's more for occasional use or kids. And finally, the infotainment, while feature-rich, might take some getting used to. Lots of menus could be distracting initially.
Fair points. And looking back, the Sorento has changed quite a bit over the years, hasn't it?
Oh, completely. It started back in 2002 as a more traditional, rugged, body-on-frame SUV. Very different beast.
Like a truck underneath.
Pretty much. Then in 2009, it shifted to the unibody platform, becoming more car-like, more refined, focusing more on on-road comfort and tech.
That was a big change.
Huge. The generations since, especially the fourth gen from 2020 and these latest updates for 25-26, have just built on that, adding style, more safety, those crucial hybrid powertrains. It's really evolved alongside what families are looking for.
So it seems this deep dive shows the 2026 Sorento is a really versatile, well-equipped player in the family SUV market. Tries to balance style, tech, practicality, and value.
I think that sums it up well. It aims to hit a sweet spot for a lot of buyers.
Which leads to a final thought for you, our listener. As family vehicles keep evolving more tech, different kinds of power, ever higher safety standards, how do you prioritize?
Yeah.
What's the most important balance for your family between cutting-edge features, sheer practicality and space, and the overall cost or value?
Yeah, it's worth thinking about what aspects of a vehicle like the Sorento really connect with your specific needs and what you value most in a daily driver.